Actually, I do need them on. I feel like stuff is a little bit blurry when I take them off. Okay, it's not in here. Hello, hello. Oh, I should be able to share it. Okay. All right, guys, I am going to get started. Welcome, everyone, to Let's Talk Fridays podcast. I am your girl, Amber Nicole Speaks. I am a confidence coach, a mentor, and an author. I am so grateful and so glad for everyone that's watching right now and everyone that's going to be listening to the podcast later. Thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you now, I usually have my glass of wine, one glass of wine for my Friday nights. Hey guys, I'm sorry that I cannot see. I can see that someone's watching. I cannot see your name, so I apologize for that. But if I could see your name, if I can't say your name, I'm sorry. But hey, thank you for watching. So tonight's podcast, if you've seen earlier today, it is the power of manifestation. And the reason why this specific topic is really, really important for me to speak with you guys about is because I did it. Like I manifested, like all the things that I have going on in my life right now, I literally manifested it before it happened. I talked about it, law of attraction, if that's what you want to call it, but I literally brought it out based on the things that came out of my mouth. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of scripture. Proverbs 18:21 says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And when I tell you how serious that is, baby, it is very serious. It's the truth because I've done it. I live it. I'm living the life now. I'm going to go back and speak to you guys and talk to you guys a little bit about where I was 2.5 years ago to where I am now and what the tips, I'm going to give you some tips on what I did to get to where I am now. So number one, right now, obviously, like I said, I'm a life coach right now, but 2.5 years ago, I was actually a paralegal working downtown Minneapolis. Totally different lifestyle to what I'm living right now. As a paralegal, it was a position that I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it, but it didn't bring me complete happiness. I really more so just liked the fact of being able to be around people. And I love the people that I worked with, but it wasn't something I felt was purposeful in my life. So I wanted more. I didn't feel like I was doing enough at that time. I wasn't totally fulfilled with where I was. I wanted to be an entrepreneur for so long. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And so 2.5 years, about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I sat down and I really just talked to myself and said, Amber, what do you want to do? Like, you're not happy right now in the space that you're in. You're not totally fulfilled where you are. And I prayed. I ain't gonna lie. I prayed to God and I said, like, what is it that you want me to do here? Because I'm unfulfilled. I love my coworkers, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything that's making me totally happy. I'm missing something. There was a part of me that was missing, and I didn't like that feeling. And if you heard me say I was living in Minnesota and right now I'm living in Florida, I knew that I didn't want to be in Minnesota anymore either. Like I was done with that space in my life. I lived there for 7 years and it brought me what it needed to bring me. At that point I was over it. I'm ready for change. I'm ready for better. I wanted to create more in my life. And at that time I felt like I was kind of tapped out of what I wanted to do there. I didn't know exactly where I wanted to live at. I just knew I did not want to be in Minnesota no more. So after I sat down and I prayed, God told me the next day that move to Florida. And I was like, huh, okay, Florida. I knew the crazy part about it is 5 years prior to me praying that prayer, my cousin, she told me when I had first moved to Minnesota, she told me that you're gonna live in Florida one day. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna ever live in Florida. Like, I just moved to Minnesota. I really like it here. I don't see myself leaving here. But she was like, something is telling me that you're gonna be in Florida. And I'm like, nah, I don't see it. And she's very spiritual as well. So when I had when God came and spoke to me and he told me to move to Florida, clearly she was the first person I called because I was like, oh my God, like you told me 5 years ago that I was going to be moving to Florida. And now when I sat down and prayed, God told me the same thing. Like, I can't believe you knew way before I knew, but clearly I'm going to be obedient because you said it and now I'm hearing it that that's where I need to be. So that's where I'm going to go. So I saved up or whatever I needed to do, and I moved to Florida. I was like, I'm just gonna go. I knew one person here. I didn't know a lot of people. I had my sister come here with me, and I was pretty much just trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I'm here. I don't really know anybody. How am I supposed to meet people? So I went to a bunch of like networking events and things like that. But what I would do when I woke up in the morning is, so if you guys don't know, I have the book out now. It's called Courageous Enough to Launch, that you can actually go on my website and get at ambernicolespeaks.com. But in that book, I'm doing that book with Dr. Cheryl Wood. And what she doesn't know is I had watched a YouTube video of her because I was so in that space of where I was trying to be my best self. Who am I? And trying to learn how to manifest, how to grow, how to just be my best self. And I seen a video on YouTube of Dr. Cheryl Wood, and that video where she was saying that before she became who she was, she started calling herself internationally known speaker Dr. Cheryl Wood. And then she became internationally known Dr. Cheryl Wood because I've seen her on there and she's doing great things. If you don't know who she is, I would suggest you go to her page and see her because she's doing amazing things. But when I seen that YouTube video, I started to do the same thing. I would go to sleep at night, and when I woke up in the morning, I was like, "Good morning, Amber, internationally known Amber Nicole." Every morning I woke up, as soon as I opened up my eyes, open my eyes, internationally known Amber Nicole. Like, I would just speak it. No, I wasn't internationally known. I was living in Florida and I didn't even have no friends in Florida. But internationally, they're going to know who I am, is what I was saying at that time. Also started saying that I'm a life coach. I had no clients at the time, but listen, if you ask me what do, I'm a life coach. That's what I do. I had a job, but on the side, I coach. This is what I'm doing. At the time, I didn't have any clients and I didn't really know anybody, but I still started saying it out of my mouth. I am a life coach. I am a mentor. I am internationally known speaker. I wasn't calling myself an author at the time. That came later, but I'm a life coach. I'm a mentor. I'm an internationally known speaker. Anybody asks me who I am and what I do, that's exactly what I called myself. I wasn't mentoring anyone at the time. I mean, I was doing videos like I'm doing now, but I wasn't in person mentoring any young girls, because I would say I mentor young girls. I coach women who's been through trauma, who's been through, who have confidence issues. Like, that's what I do. I wasn't doing that at the time. But if you ask me what I'm doing, when I went to networking events, that's what I told them who I was. I had went on Vistaprint, made a card, got a business card made, and I became a business without really having clients or anything. I was building. I was telling myself who I was before I came that person. And in the meantime, I was constantly growing and learning, reading books, watching YouTube videos, just focusing on who I wanted to be. I wasn't focusing on who I was at that moment, because if I took time to look at where I was, okay, I live in this little bitty small apartment. I don't want to know anybody. I didn't look at that. I looked at, I am Amber Nicole, internationally known speaker, life coach, and mentor. And that's who I am. And you couldn't tell me otherwise, no matter what I was doing at that time. Fast forward to now. Now I am a life coach, obviously a confidence coach. I have several clients that I have right now. I am a mentor, and I finally got connected with a woman who is she has a company where she mentors ages 10 to 19 young girls, and I am now a part of that. So now my mentorship is actually manifesting. I would call myself, I would also say I really wanted to, my end goal is really to be, I want to be, have a group home. So I want to have a group home for homeless teens and for men, for young women and young men, for homeless teens and teens in the foster care system, because I think that they are something that a lot of people don't talk about or don't deal with. And when kids get adopted, it's usually young children and it's not always teenagers. So my end goal is to find that, to be a group home, to run a group home. And let me tell you that I wrote this down in my book probably last year sometime. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a woman come to me who actually runs a program where she helps homeless teenagers. And she asked me if I can help her and help be a part of her program. I don't know this woman, never met her a day in my life. She found me on Facebook, and it was like, wow, like, how did you? Who knew that this is what I want to do? Because I don't even talk about that part of it. Like, I wrote it down, but I don't talk about it. But I knew this is what I wanted to do. I knew this is something I desired. So when I tell you that you have the power to really manifest who you are and what you want to do in life, you truly have the power to do that. The thing about it is you have to think it before you step into that position. You have to say to yourself, what is it that you want to be? I want to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, or maybe you are just a nurse, right? I mean, maybe you're a CNA and you want to be an RN. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, that's just whatever it is that you desire to have and desire to be. You have to speak that before it becomes into existence, because something about when you start saying it to yourself over and over again, when you start really feeling that in you and saying, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm an internationally known speaker, prior to doing it, at first it may start feeling weird. But when you start actually telling people over and over again, this is who I am, I don't care what you think about me, but this is who I am, it manifests in your life because you have spoke it. It's called the law of attraction as well. You attracted that lifestyle. You attracted being the coach. I attracted the people to me that I wanted to be. I attracted the woman who runs her mentorship program because I talked about this is who I am, and now I finally have that. Also, the last thing I want to talk about is relationships, because that's so big. Relationships. Hey, Carol. Relationships is big because a lot of times so many men and women, they both talk about how there's no good women in the world and there's no good men in the world. And then when you keep meeting these people, this is who you meet. You meet the no good men, you meet the no good women, because your mindset is set on that's who it's going to be. That's not what I told myself. I got to a space in my life where I said to myself, there's a lot of amazing men in the world. I just haven't met that person yet. There's a lot of that was just my mindset. That's just what I kept saying to myself. And I'm going to be single and I'm going to work on being my best self. And when my best self meets whoever that man was going to be, boom. Fast then a year ago, that's exactly what happened. I met the man that is definitely somebody that I see as going to be my husband. And he has to be the most kindest person I ever met. And we align so well in what we do, what our goal is, what our vision is. Our chemistry is amazing. And it's not something that has to be forced. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we don't have to force it. And I didn't go out looking for this for him, and we didn't even plan on it being the way that it is. It's just something that happened. That's how you know when God is really in it for you, because when it just naturally just happens, when you naturally gravitate to each other, when you guys have the same vision, when you're doing the same thing, when you both have love for people, it just feels good. You know that God is there for you. So whatever it is that you desire, whoever it is you desire, I would say to you that stop focusing on what you used to have and start focusing on what you actually want. I want a woman, I want a man that is what? That's good, that's kind-hearted, that's humble, that loves people, that cares for people, that's amazing to their parents. Like whatever it is that you want, that you desire, you have to think that, not the negativity of there's no good men, there's no good women. It's all about your mindset and what you speak out of your mouth, the power of manifestation. It has completely worked in my life. I know it could work in your life because it worked in mine. Ask anybody who is in a higher position how they got where they got. The law of attraction really works. What you think about is what you attract. You keep saying I'm broke, you're going to always be broke. You keep saying I don't got it, you ain't never going to have it. You got to say, you know what? I'm a millionaire. I'm just waiting for it to hit my bank account. I know that I'm a millionaire. It just hasn't came yet. I know that I'm going to have this. I know I'm going to have the big dream home. I'm just not there yet, but I know it's coming. I'm going to have the amazing husband or wife. They just haven't came into my life yet. When you start speaking positivity into your life, positivity comes into your life, but you got to speak it. You got to think it. You got to feel it like you're already there. I already felt like I was a coach before I became a coach. I called myself a mentor before that happened, but you have to be consistent in your thoughts. When you start hearing those negative thoughts of you ain't nothing, you don't have a car, you living in poverty right now, you on food stamps, you can't have that, your mama don't have it, your cousins don't have it, because the enemy is going to always be after your thoughts and try to keep you from your purpose. You have to be strong, you have to warrior up, and you have to be consistent in your thought process, and you got to throw them thoughts down and tell yourself, you know what, devil, you don't have a hold of me. My God says that I have a purpose. My God says that I'm going to have an amazing husband. My God says that I'm going to have prosperity, peace, and abundance. And that's exactly what I'm going to have. So you can keep telling me that because of what it looks like right now, that it's going to be that. But I promise you, it ain't always going to stay that way. When you start having those thoughts in your mind and you start feeling it, it's going to come. You're going to manifest it, because the power of manifestation, the law of attraction, speaking into existence, all those things that people say, it's true. It's true because I lived it and I'm living it right now. And I'm continuously speaking what I want to happen into my life. I'm praying about what I want to happen to my life because I know it's going to happen, because I've received so much. And I'm so grateful for where I am right now, because if you seen me 2.5 years ago, you would never think that I would be where I am right now. But I'm here because I created the life. I stayed on course. I aligned myself with what God wanted for me. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And I know that you are capable of doing the same thing. All right. So I didn't want to be too long tonight for the podcast tonight. I just really wanted to tell you guys how important the law of attraction, or how manifesting exactly what you want, how important it is, because it is. It's important that you keep your mindset on what it is that you want, and keep your mind on what it is that you desire in your life, and not the negative situation that you may be in right now. Because when you focus on the future and not what it looks like right now, you'll get everything you ever wanted. I promise you. If God says you're supposed to have it, you're going to have it. But you got to be strong enough to keep your mindset positive. You got to be strong enough to say, whatever's happening, occurring in my life right now is not how it's always going to be. I'm going to get better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be at the top. I just have to stay in this space right now. Be grateful for where I am, because where I was 2 years ago, I'm much further where I am now. So be grateful that God is taking me along this ride, and I'm going to enjoy the journey along the way. All the bumps, all the ups and downs, I'm going to enjoy the journey along the way and just keep on learning. Yes. The law of attraction. That's right. You have to attract what you want. Whatever you speak out to the world, whatever you think is coming right back to you. That's right. Okay, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here long. I enjoyed speaking with you guys and sharing this with you. If you didn't get to watch the whole entire thing, it's still going to be on Facebook. But also, I have this. It's a podcast. It's on Spotify if you have Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. I said Apple Music, but it's on Apple Podcasts. Apple actually has their own podcast, so it's on Apple Podcasts, and it's also on Amazon Music. So those are 3 different platforms that you'll be able to listen to. And go ahead and go like and subscribe to one of those podcasts, because you'll be able to keep up with all the new podcast episodes that I do, and the last ones that maybe you have not got a chance to hear. Okay. Again, like I was talking about, my Courageous Enough to Launch book, that's available on my website, ambernicolespeaks.com. Also, Girl Get Up and Move is on there as well. And one last thing, if you see this shirt right here, Phenomenal Black Woman, this is also available on my Amber Nicole Speaks website. So go to the website, please. I have a lot of stuff on there, a lot of inventory, a lot of merch for you guys to be able to purchase. Thank you guys for listening. Peace and prosperity to all of you guys. Mwah. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.